Well, I'd like to start today by letting you guys know the Invention Incorporated program, the business of inventing, has been created to help our kids with the next steps. So you guys have an idea, and we're going to help you grow that idea. And we're going to help you build that invention with the goal of going to nationals. I know that when you all placed at state, you got that letter that said Invention Incorporated and an invitation to the nationals. And today you're going to find out what all that means. So let's congratulate our inventors. And we have a great group photo right here. There you guys are. Yeah, do you see yourself? Give a shout out. Let's hear it for our state top inventors. Yeah, I see you guys see each other. And you guys all really excelled at the state competition. We hope it was a fun day for you. We learned a lot that day about it was the first time we were in that venue and the first time that we had that many inventors come together from all over the state. You guys did a great job. And you guys are inventors now. You're problem solvers. So I want you guys to say along with me, I am creative. I want you guys shout it back to me after I say it. I am creative.
I am creative.
I am confident.
I am confident.
I am a critical thinker.
I am a critical thinker.
I'm a determined problem solver.
I am a determined problem solver.
And I try to make life easier, help others, and make the world a better place. Easier. We probably should have taken that one in 3. Let's try that. I try to make life easier. Help others, and make the world a better place. I'm an inventor. That's right, you absolutely are. You know, I was able to spend some time at the Henry Ford Museum, where you guys are all going to go for the National Invention Convention. Raise your hand if you've ever been to the Henry Ford Museum. Oh, I see some hands going up. What a spectacular place. I can't wait to share that part of the presentation with you today. But there was a quote that I saw while I was there, and I ended up leaving with a t-shirt because I thought it was so amazing and so awesome. Henry Ford said this: whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I mean, just think about that. It's true. You decide what you do, where you go, and how your life will happen by simply saying, I can or I can't. And I applaud all of you for saying, I can. Let's give these inventors a round of applause. Invention Incorporated is going to help you develop, think about how to keep improving that prototype that you have. You might run into some challenges that you find out that your invention might already be on the market. Do you just stop and say, okay, well then I'm finished? Do you? No, because we just saw there are multiple solutions and different ways to solve a problem. So you can stay with the same problem and you can stay with your same invention, but you can think about how you might change it to make it different enough to what's already out there on the market. Because your goal, one of your goals could be that people will actually get Emily's BlackBerry picker, right? That's what you invented, right, Emily? Yeah. And I'm going to have you tell me about it later on. You made a parachute too, see? That paper can become anything you imagine it to be. So Invention Incorporated is going to help you with the entrepreneurship piece. Hannah started in the Connecticut Invention Convention at the age of 12. Some of you guys are probably at the same age when you started. And she started with the problem in her own life, which was she watched her mom. Anybody eat ice cream? We talked about Jenny's ice cream earlier. So her mom would scoop out that ice cream and it would break the cone. So I'm going to let her actually be the one that tells you about it, because we have a little video of her selling her kind of promoing. This is her pitch video. You guys did pitch videos for state, so.
We want ice cream! Okay, I'm getting it ready.
All the way back down. We clearly didn't want ice cream.
Another broken cone. Why is scooping ice cream so hard?
Hurry up! Hurry up! Mom, what are you doing with that ice cream?
What do you mean?
Did you not see that really cool ice cream that Dad got at the store? It's really cool. All I have to do is take it out and drop it in. It's that easy.
Wow, that's so simple. What's it called?
Egghead ice cream. It's shaped like an egg and it comes in an egg carton. Here, thank you. Yum, this is really good. We also get multiple flavors in one pack. Don't forget, it's super easy. Buy Egghead Ice Cream!
Okay, so that was her first version of that.
Bye-bye!
Oh, we have to, I always like to hear a little sister saying bye-bye, it's cute. So that was her first version, so that's what she took to the Invention Convention. Well, if you look at these photos, which are on the screen, you can see that she has a poster now, and she's also in an ice cream case. So what she was using was the old paper carton. You guys probably used everyday items to build your prototypes. Well, she went on to work with the University of Connecticut's engineering department. And what we're hoping to do is create opportunities for you guys to branch out. So she went there and they helped her create a high volume, cost-effective manufacturing process for that ice cream, because she was making those molds and you could see she had to like use her hands to scoop it in. Well, that didn't really look like her really great selling point, right? But she had a good idea, just like you guys have good ideas. So you have to perfect it a little bit. So she found a way and worked with someone to figure out how to get the ice cream into the molds that she created. So it went from the machine through the mold all the way into the packaging. And you can see over here that package is now clear. She can do different ice cream flavors in there. And the reason that we have these photos are because now Hannah, I believe she's 16 now, she just did a market trial launch at the University of Connecticut's Dairy Barn and the local ice cream stores, and it's branching out now that she's got her product, her packaging down, how she's going to manufacture it. She's ready to continue to grow her market. So there's a connection from Invention Convention to entrepreneurship. So we can look at her, and then we have, got to the big slide. Luca Riccio. So Luca, the National Invention Convention, and the reason that I'm going to him now is because we're going to talk about the National Invention Convention next. But he was at the very first National Invention Convention and Entrepreneurship Expo in 2016. He won the top prize for his invention, and at that time he was an 8th grader, and he won the most marketable invention. That is one of the awards that they give out. So he is a student that did that. He invented the message mask. That's what he called it, and you can see it here. This the photo right here. Well, I don't have the pointer on, but you can see that's his mask. That's his first version of the prototype. The problem, it's now called the Tube Talker, and it's a Bluetooth-enabled microphone adapter which connects in line to the tube of a full-face oxygen mask. Why is this helpful? Has anyone ever had they've ever seen anybody wearing an oxygen mask? Like maybe they have to have oxygen at home, maybe you have an older relative, or someone's unfortunately been in the hospital. Or they have what's called a CPAP machine. There's a disease you can have called sleep apnea that sometimes makes you stop breathing when you're sleeping. So his invention, he knew somebody in his life that had to wear an oxygen mask, but they had a difficult time communicating when they had that on their face. So he made a Bluetooth-enabled line that went in there so that it paired with an Amazon Echo-type speaker for voice amplification. So their voice came through the speaker system so they could now talk without taking off their oxygen mask. And it could also communicate, it allowed people under the oxygen mask to communicate with their loved ones and medical staff, but also they can talk to the artificial intelligence system and the unit, and they can have them do everything from play audiobook to calling anybody in the world. So now they have this ability to communicate with the system while they have the mask on. Okay, Luca has filed for his patents and is working through prototyping towards commercialization at this time, because the state of Connecticut has a program called Connecticut Next. And it's like think Shark Tank, okay? So what they do is they bring together, it's designed to feed the startup ecosystem, and one of their programs is a quarterly program called the Entrepreneur Innovation Awards. They award $10,000 in grants for early stage activities, patent work, engineering, design, market research. Luca was selected, he went there, he presented, and Luca has presented not once since winning the National Invention Convention, but twice. And you can win up and present up to 3 times. So both times he pitched, he won. At the first time, he additionally won the Judge's Choice Award, which was an additional $2,000. So he has won $12,000 the first time, $10,000 the second time, and for a total of $22,000. And it's not bad for a 9th grader, because this has all happened to him within a year and a half of winning the National Invention Convention. So it's a great opportunity that comes out of this program, and they have continued to use that entrepreneurship piece. So what is the National Invention Convention, is when is it going to happen? It's going to happen May 31st through June 2nd at the Henry Ford, and we are super excited about it. Just like I told you at the top, the place is spectacular, and I think one of the best ways to show you is to play a little video that I made on my trip there. So you can see there's the museum, there's IMAX, there's the Henry Ford Academy. Actually, kids get to go to school there, and history is like at their fingertips. They go out to the exhibits and experience it firsthand. And there's a place called Greenfield Village, so that you can explore. So here is the video. So that's just a little bit of what the place looks like. It has the main museum, it has the Greenfield Village. So here's how the schedule is going to lay out. Now, our program, as you know, it didn't cost anything to participate. Some of you have been to Nationals before, and you know that Nationals comes with a registration fee. That fee is still being decided, and they're being negotiated. This is really early in the process for us to have as much information as we do right now. In the past, we may not start hearing things until, you know, January, March, so you guys are ahead of the game. So the schedule will run, the event is from May 31st until June 2nd. Thursday is the first day where families arrive. You'll register in the museum promenade. You'll get the agenda. The registration is going to have 3 time periods, and you'll be assigned a time period. You'll find out what time period that is. You'll get your t-shirts. Part of your registration fee will cover like lunch money for throughout the days that you're there. We're at the museum. And then you'll have, well, 3 different orientations in this photo right here. Over to the right, the top one is the Anderson Theater. It's a beautiful theater. So that we don't have all the kids in there at one time, it allows you guys to be looking at the museum and doing other things. They're trying to create a schedule that gives you guys the information that you need, but give you time to be entertained as well, or to take advantage. And the designated hotel for Nationals is the Edward Hotel, if you want to look it up online. The hotel will have a special, there's going to be a built-in rate or an offered rate. And Julie Shively is here too. She'll be able to help answer some questions after if you have them. But we are recommending the Edward Hotel, and that will be the only hotel that we offer transportation to and from the event, the museum. If you choose to stay at another hotel, transportation won't be built into your registration fee. Okay? So you have to think about that. And then at that hotel that night, we're going to have a dinner on Thursday evening. It's going to be a pasta party. And there's going to be entertainment, dancing. They're still planning what all of those events look like. So the time is tentative, but it looks like it's going to be 6:30 to 8:30. I'm going to try and move a little faster because I know it's 3. Okay, so Friday, the schedule is tentative. Friday is competition day. That is the day that the competition will take place. There'll be breakfast at the Edward Hotel. There'll be transportation for those staying there to the Henry Ford. And they do not know yet exactly what time judging circles are going to happen, but I think it's enough for you to know that that's the day that judging will take place. And we're really excited because Mo Rocca of Innovation Nation, raise your hand. Anybody ever watch Innovation Nation on CBS? Check your local listings for the scheduled time. If you don't watch it, start watching it. I've got a little sample for you here. It's a really quick promo clip, but it'll just give you an idea of how awesome the show is, and then I can share the exciting news that I have to share. Oh, it went away. Wait, let me go back. There we go.
Welcome to Henry Ford's Innovation Nation. I'm Mo Rocca, and your mind is about to take flight. Coming up, taking to trees with the keys to these.
And every week they take you to cool places.
So nice without the bowl of rice. The plants on cement making an ascent. And when trains met the dream of blowing off the steam. Next on the Henry Ford Innovation Nation.
So, because the Henry Ford is the host location for the National Invention Convention, Mo Rocca was going to be the MC for the National Invention Convention Awards ceremony. That's a really big deal. It's very exciting, and they're all delighted that he's going to be able to be part of the ceremony. So, after the competition day, in the evening, there'll be dinner at the museum, and then the awards presentation will happen in the evening time. Those times, again, are to be determined. It will be the evening, we know that. That's for the awards ceremony. Transportation will go back to the hotel. And then Saturday, there's gonna be a breakfast again, and then it's transportation back over to the Henry Ford, and there's going to be a celebration picnic for all of the inventors and families in Greenfield Village, and that celebration will take place between 11 and 2 p.m. There'll be 3 time slots for lunch, so not everybody's trying to have lunch at the same time, and there'll be special awards that will be given that day that were not given out at the award ceremony, as well as activities, hands-on fun, and the ability to explore Greenfield Village that day. So now, the reason that we show Sunday the 3rd, because families have the option, again, it's at a cost, to spend, you have to pay a hotel fee and there won't be transportation provided after that. After the Saturday at 2 o'clock, the transportation, I think, ends. The NICE official event is over. But your passes that you're going to receive as part of your registration are good for 4 days. So the registration fee will give you a pass for the museum, the IMAX, the Rouge tour to the Ford factory, Greenfield Village. So as a family, if you wanted to make a trip of it, you could stay another night and just have a free day of non-commitments and explore the museum and do all of that stuff on Sunday. So that's why that day is listed. That's what the schedule looks like. We're really excited about it. There's going to be a lot of things filled in there and more information coming your way, like precisely how much it's going to cost. At one point in time, we will know that. But we think this helps you guys to start being able to plan and save the date. Okay? And here's a map of Thursday and the Welcome Center where you'll come in. The orientation is the museum here, registration's over here. And again, there's those 3 group periods for registration. And you can just see the Friday schedule. So students will load in through the main doors into, and the cool thing about it is the actual competition is going to take place in the museum, in the Innovation Museum. So they're going to be around and presenting around all of these awesome artifacts of innovation. So what a great experience for our young inventors. And the judging circles are in this area. And the dinner will happen then over here. The awards presentation. When you were watching that video, you saw a part where there was Thomas Edison's signature and a shovel, and then a part where that plane was at the end when we said, see you there. It'll be set up theater style all throughout that area. And here, as you can see, so they'll have screens to the side, podium. This shows a theater style dining, but it will actually be set up. There's that plane up there at the top, that kind of that shape is supposed to indicate a plane. So the seats will go all the way out and through and around the exhibits and the stages down here. So that's how it will be set up for the event. Okay? Do I have any questions about the national stuff that I just presented? That's pretty much where we have, that's what we have, that's what we know right now. Does anybody have any questions? Again, we're going to be staying in touch with you through the Invention Incorporated program and also via email. You have to check your email, guys. And you guys are here, so you do. So I'm really happy. But it's the fastest way for us to get the most information out to you. So we're going to be giving out updates through there. We're going to talk about Ed Backer accounts, how you can fund your trip. Because you guys have, it's beginning of October. The event is May 31st. You have a lot of time to get the support of your Lions Club, your Rotary Club, your school PTA sometimes has money. This is a national competition that you're representing the state at, so they want to support you. So we're going to be giving you ideas about how to do that. Question in the back?
I actually have 2.
Okay.
The question is there even a general idea of approximately how much it could cost?
Julie, do you want to...
It's pretty tough to say right now. The reason I say that, I'm going to look at all the costs that we have combined together. It would be $300 per person.
Okay.
However,
that gives us an
that's
idea.
going to be a max.
Or if you choose to use your own transportation, is there a cost for parking?
I don't think.
I do not believe that-
At all.
Yeah.
Sometimes have I been there where I've paid to park anything. I think you just may have farther to walk. And we aren't sure exactly how it will work out. I think last year and the year before, your registration fee was your registration fee. If you chose to do something different, then you're still paying that fee. It may include things that you're no longer doing. I don't know that it could be the case here. We may have an a la carte menu of, well, I'm coming Thursday, or no, I'm coming Wednesday, or no, I'm coming Friday, so it may alter your cost. We'll see as soon as we can figure out what the total cost is.
Okay.
But we know what the maximum cost is, because we've laid that all out. So we've looked with it, now we can reduce that. I did want to make one other comment before you open it to questions. And I heard you say that everyone should be checking their email, and they certainly should be doing that. But because there are so many issues with email and spam filters and junk mail, and you never know, and my suggestion would be that we also post everything on the events page on our website. So once you do a correspondence, you turn it into a PDF, and it's out there on the events page. We'll make a new event called Invention Incorporated. That way, if they think they should have heard something by now, they can look at the events page to know whether or not they've missed something.
That's a great idea, yes, thank you, that's a really good idea, because we do run into those issues with our emails getting through on some systems, so, yeah, well, for some reason we look like spam. It really hurts our feelings, because we're not, but it happens. So we'll make sure to get it on the events page for you too, so be checking the website events page for updates about nationals as well as Invention Incorporated. Question right here.
So, at the nationals, are there going to be more people than
Yes, and this is not the whole group of students that have been that placed. So we had 99 inventions at state that earned the ability to keep moving on with Invention Incorporated, and so a lot of people couldn't make it today, so they've given me their information and we're going to get them signed up. And they know to come on April 21st, which we're going to talk about that at the end. So yeah, there'll be more kids. In fact, for the National Invention Convention, they're looking to have, is it Julie, the number 500 inventors approximately?
We're shooting for 450 to 500 inventors this year, yes.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions? All right, well, I would like to turn it over. I know you guys are here to learn about Invention Incorporated and more about what we're creating for you there besides for Nationals. Thank you so much, Julie, for your help. We appreciate it. Thank you. So Olivia Gallo is the creator of project-based entrepreneurship and venture learning. Olivia and I met at the Ohio Educational Technology Conference, and it happens every spring, every winter here in Columbus. People come from all over. Invention League was there, and Olivia was there, and she was developing entrepreneurship for kids. And I was like, what? That is one thing we've been wanting to do. How can we work together to see how we can create a program? So this is you guys are going to be the first group that have gone through this, and we're going to be looking for you guys for guidance, advice, and feedback. And she has an amazing career path. She's worked for Cardinal Health. She's done lots of project-based management. That's what you do. And I'm just going to kick it over to you. If you're ready to go, are you good? Okay, let's hear it for Olivia.
I gotta get used to using this. Like you said, I had to right underneath my chin.
Right on the cheddar. It just doesn't hurt. It's like ice cream. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for the introduction. And I'm really excited to be here with this great group of kids. So thank you so much for coming out. Like she said, I've spent many years in project management, so mostly in IT, so that's really my background. I am on the Invention League Board of Directors, and I'm really excited and passionate about what we're doing here with Invention League. So I'm very tied into it, and then I'm trying to help out with their programs, and they're helping out with ours. I've been a problem solver and entrepreneur all my life, before it was cool to do so. I had a lemonade stand, a paper route, I tried to have a typing business. I mean, I tried to file for a patent with just some random thing. Stuff would show up in the mail, and my mom would be like, what are you doing now? So I think she didn't know what to do with me after a while, and I think that's a challenge with kids that have these gifts of wanting to invent and build and sell. So congratulations to all of you parents for taking that on. So at any rate, I want to do a quick activity here to get everybody's creative juices flowing again, just like you did earlier. I've got this slide up here talking about what we're going to actually do. So basically, we're going to put you in groups again, and we're going to talk about people that you know that have started a business. And then the second thing is what it means to be an entrepreneur. And then we're going to define the entrepreneurial spirit, and what do you think it takes to be successful. So you get in groups, you talk about these things, you write a few things down, you can draw, you can use the chart paper we brought, it's whatever you want to do. All right, I'm going to do a really quick demo of our system, and like I said, really quick, because we designed this system to be easy to navigate. I'm going to tell you just a handful of things about the system. Hold on just one second. All right, so when I say the system, what I mean is Venture Learning actually has a web-based content and e-commerce marketplace. So what this does is I've come up with this idea to build out curriculum, so all the information you need about how to be an entrepreneur, but then when you finish taking the class, you can actually put your products on our e-commerce website and sell your product. Now, again, as Professor Prototype Abby said before, this is a first go-around, so this is going to be patient with us, understand that everything may not work perfect when you get in the system. You may have to get a hold of us for some support, but that we have a vision and we want to see you kids actually be able to put your products out there and do something with them, okay? So our curriculum is flexible and personalized. We're selling it to schools. We're working with summer camps. You can do it entirely virtual. It all just depends on how you want to use it, okay? And we do have it aligned to standards, so if schools are interested in it, then they can make sure that it makes sense for them by meeting the standards that they have to teach to. And then we have 5 modules, and those 5 modules, I'm going to challenge myself here to remember what they are. We will see them in a moment, but one is business and legal. One is operations, which is mostly about manufacturing and production. Another one is about finance, going to teach you a little bit about the money side of the business. Then we've got marketing and advertising, which is often people's favorite area because it's branding. And then finally, it's the sales and customer service. So each of those areas will have 4 different lessons, and a bunch of different activities and different extension things you can do within it. I think, just to let you know again, since this is a pilot, we're looking for feedback. So even if it's not a support question and you say, well, I'm confused about this or I'm confused about that, if you're taking the online course, I want to know, I want to hear about it. So you'll have an email, I think we put out, support@venturelearning.io. It's one of the links on the pages that you've got. You can go ahead and send me a note. All right, so here's the demo. Bigger here. So again, I'm just going to do a quick one because it should be fairly self-explanatory, but the way it works is you come into the system to this page, and you'll see on the left-hand side there's build and there's launch. And there's 3 modules, what we're calling modules: business and legal, operations and finance, and then in launch there's 2, marketing and advertising, and sales and customer service. Now, there isn't content built out of the whole site yet. We're still adding it as we go, but you will always have what you need on the week that you go in to do your work. So the first lesson is going to be around intellectual property. So you'll see this come up. There's your title. It tells you the things you need to do, and then these are expandable boxes. So here it'll tell you about what is the purpose of this lesson, what should you get out of it, what are the goals. Then you can take a cool little pre-assessment. Sounds like it's boring because it's school stuff, but it's actually fun because you can get to find out what you know. So you hit start. It tells you the standards that are covered. This is important again for schools, maybe not so much for you parents. And then you can actually take the test. There's only 5 little questions here. And you just sit down through them. And then you can submit it. Not going to, but you can. And then once you get done with your pre-assessment, you're going to watch your video. And your video is an animated video. See if it works.
Oh, hey there. I didn't hear you come in. I'm Carlos from Venture Learning. Thanks for tuning in to our first episode. Today we're going to be talking a bit about... okay, let's see here. Oh, okay. The very first things you need to know to start a business. Wow, really? That's pretty cool. Well, let's get started. There are 4 core things you'll need to think about right off the bat. These things are intellectual property, identity, structure and roles, and regulations, licenses, and permits. Today, we're going to talk about intellectual property. Oof, okay, what does that mean? Great question. Intellectual means mental, cerebral, from your brain. Intellectual property can mean a new idea, innovation to an existing idea, or anything that makes your business and product yours that isn't a physical item. When it comes to IP, as all the cool kids call it, hey man, what's in your backpack?
So then underneath the video, you're going to get some key points, a couple of paragraphs about things maybe the video didn't talk about that we want you to know so that you can do the activities. But I like that it's pretty concise. We're not feeding tons and tons of information at you. It's just the basics. Then you've got activities. You open those up, you've got a warm-up activity. And this activity is just right here in the paragraph. And then these 2 activities below here, activity 1 and 2, you can actually open the worksheet. And you can print these worksheets out if you want. You can just go through the activity. Parents and students can work together on these. We recommend that you do all the activities and all the exercises, but if you're doing it at home, it's going to be all self-paced and self-guided, and we'll give you suggested completion dates. Hope I'm not talking too fast. I have a terrible habit of that. All right. So that was an example of a worksheet. Here's another example of a worksheet. We're teaching you about intent to trademarks and invention disclosure and how that all works. And then at the end, you're going to look at the self-reflection questions and say, did I learn these things? If not, maybe I need to go back through the material, maybe I need to watch the video again, and then you'll take your post-assessment. It looks identical to the pre-assessment, except that it adds like an extended response, so it gives you an open-ended question to answer, more of a critical thinking opportunity. And then at the very end, you've got more of these optional materials where there's additional links. It takes you to the World Intellectual Property Organization or the U.S. Copyright Office. And it's got other activities if you are so excited that you want to keep going. So that's how it works. It's pretty, like I said, pretty easy where you just open and close the different boxes and things open on another tab so that it never closes down your original page. And now I'm just going to end on that note and let everybody ask some questions if you have them.